Hello, how are you all doing? Welcome to Battlesnake Coding Badly. My name is Joe, and I am one of your hosts for today. And before we bring on my other wonderful host, let me bring up the proper banner to show due diligence to our lovely partners, RBC, AWS, and GitHub. Hey, Nessagrove, thank you for joining. If you are new here to Battlesnake Coding Badly, this is a show all about experimentation and doing cool and interesting things with Battlesnake. Battlesnake, if you have somehow not encountered it and you're one of the few people watching, Battlesnake is a programming game where you write the AI, the algorithm that drives a little snake on the classic game of Snake. Putters around the board, getting food, avoiding other snakes, etc. You control that snake with code, and you go head-to-head against other players. And here on Coding Badly, we do daft things, we do silly things, we do things that shouldn't work, that won't work, like building snakes in raw bash with Penelope a couple of weeks ago, or controlling snakes with our literal faces, thanks to the magic of computer vision. All these kind of goodies. And right now, we are doing a little bit of something different. In that it's actually useful, which is a mistake. We are building snakes using Blockly, and we'll get into that and I'll show you where we're up to. This is show 2 of that, but before I do that, let me bring my co-host onto the screen. Please say a big hello to Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Hello. Just because we're building something useful does not mean we'll do it well.
No, there is already jank.
Coding badly. Yes, we shall still code badly.
Yes, I mean, and there were several conversations last week that were, this is not the way, this is not following best practices for this, but we're going to do it anyway. And B, where we were like, this is probably a glaring security issue, but we'll soldier on. But it is going to be cool. It is useful. So, I guess the old intro to this show was we're lowering the bar to Battlesnake by being garbage, and that still remains true. If we can come on if we have the gall to come here and stream to you for 90 minutes, you have the power to play Battlesnake. So, how are you today, Kevin?
I am not too bad. I'm a little bit nasally, so you might hear that today. But other than that, cannot complain.
Autumn is coming. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, absolutely. And with a still fairly new child, we're in the perpetual cycle of at least one of us being sick at a time.
Right.
But pretty good first week in a new job, for my day job, because I don't write Battlesnakes 40 hours a week, so everything's going good.
Much to your chagrin. Do you want to talk about the new job? Are we plug-in? Are we not plug-in? How's that working?
I mean, sure, yeah. I'm now a developer advocate at a company called DeepGram, which has speech recognition APIs. Maybe at some point in the future we'll do a horrific Battlesnake that relies on voice control.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
And then I want voice snake versus face snake.
I love that. Oh my god, yes.
Hey Hexagon, thanks for joining us. So
that's just made me think, if we think about all the different ways in which a body could interact with a battle snake, we could do like a DDR, a Dance Dance Revolution snake.
Well, so Ramon, right? Ramon at Codacy? Yeah. So Ramon has a DIY DDR pad that he built for some conference. It's JavaScript powered on an Arduino or some Arduino adjacent thing. And he came and streamed that with me before on a different channel. And he has in the past, and he's up for doing Battlesnake with it, and I never followed up, so maybe we should do that. But today, we're going to be doing more Blockly. So, oh god, where do I even start screen sharing? Why has my Firefox opened in something entirely different? Let's start by doing a little recap. That sounds sensible, right? Let me bring up Blockly. Okay, let me throw this up. Boop. So, Blockly, if you are not aware. Actually, let me start with Scratch, because Scratch is pretty. Yeah. So, we were batting around doing some visual Battlesnake. Is there just a good example? Some visual Battlesnake. We wanted to use some kind of visual language. These all look really complicated. I just want throw me in a project.
One at random. So
see inside. There we go. This is it. So we wanted to do some visual coding because that seems silly and fun. And Scratch was what we were leaning towards. Scratch is if you haven't encountered it, it's very popular for teaching kids to code. I encountered it quite early in my coding career. I've taught with it. It's a really cool tool. Kevin suggested it. And I had looked into it before. And unfortunately with Scratch, because it's primarily aimed at kids, it doesn't really have I/O in a lot of ways. It doesn't have a networking library or anything. So that is where Blockly comes in. So Blockly is kind of like Google went, hey, this Scratch thing is really cool and is popular, and there's lots of things like it. So they kind of made this toolkit. Yeah, exactly, Hexagon. So Lego Mindstorms has a very similar. There's like snappy block thing.
There's
very
quite
popular.
a few of them.
Yeah.
This idea of like teaching programming concepts without needing to like get hung up on the syntax is really popular in like early years coding.
Yeah, and what's interesting is like this particular family of them, like the snappy blocks, the blocks that go inside each other, because there's lots of different ways of doing visual coding. Like nodes is really popular, but for some reason for kids, this snappy blocks is the way to do it. I guess because Lego reminiscent, even down to like the little nubbins. So yeah, Google, because there's so many of these things, Google made this kind of toolkit for it. So it's got the visuals, they're highly customizable by default. They're like, it's like they took Scratch and made all the colors ugly. And it's got some basic blocks that pre-exist with it, but it's meant to be a developer tool. It's extensible, you can build your own languages with it, it has all kinds of things. And so what we spent the last stream doing is making this, which doesn't look like much of anything, but what it does, and we'll walk through it. So first of all, let me throw some code into here. Let's have a little mathematical expression. Let's do 123 plus 123, and you'll see the JavaScript. It doesn't look, it's just a math expression, it doesn't look that much, but the JavaScript is instantly generated at an impressive speed. Like if I just start throwing blocks in here, that JavaScript's spinning.
And the weird thing about this is the position of the blocks in the canvas
is significant, yeah. So look at where 10 is. So 10 is there. Like, it's really bizarre.
That really screws my mind.
It's very intuitive, but just the fact that someone thought of that.
Hexagon has asked the question.
Can you make your own blocks of abstraction? So this is, okay, yes is the answer. We'll come around to that. So we started building this. We have this editor, it's generating JavaScript, but most importantly, what you can't really see here is that this JavaScript is connected to a server via WebSockets. So even thinking about what we've done here actually makes me feel a little bit sick. So
horrific.
So we have WebSockets grabbing this code that we're generating. What do they do? What's being done with that code? Well, we're just shoving that code straight into the move endpoint. So you run this server. You go over to the visual editor. You build your snake, and that code is just being executed. That's just live.
Wait,
that's your move endpoint.
No, it isn't. Is it?
It is. Yeah, it is.
Did we get to the point where it is executing on the server?
We did, because of this stupid hack. So I'm still really proud that this works. So we're just inserting the JavaScript that's generated on that page. So it gets inserted in this area. So what we did was we had this game state variable. Okay, I'm losing myself. Let's go to Hexagon's question. Hexagon asks, can you make your own blocks in abstraction? You can, Hexagon, and that's vital because here, no objects, nothing to manipulate objects.
There are arrays.
No JSON. There are arrays, they're called lists. There are arrays, but there's no objects. So we're going to have to either get very creative with arrays, as we spoke about last week, and do a lot of just converting everything to arrays and then traversing arrays, which, quite frankly, I do not want to do. Or we write our own blocks. And that's what we're going to be doing mostly today, is writing our own blocks. So the blocks... Actually, I'm going to show you in the Block Factory. So they've got this nice little developer tool called the Block Factory.
The Block Factory.
Yeah, and blocks have two parts. They have a definition, and then they have a generator stub. So we can construct our block. What we're seeing here is defining blocks in blocks. So we can construct our block, choose the color, choose the inputs, choose the name, and then we just grab this block of JavaScript code. And as you can see here, this is a block that has one input, and we can choose what field it is. So for example, I can set that to take a text field. And then in the generator stub, it's grabbing the value that's given in this input. So then we can start to do stuff. So what we're going to be doing today is seeing if we can get Battlesnake specific blocks working, for example, to manipulate the JSON body that we get from the Battlesnake server. So it sends us the game state. We're going to make a little group of blocks that, get us our snake, get us the opponent snakes, get us food, get us the width and height. just so we can then start to use the basic logic blocks to play Battlesnake. So, hey Brad, why was there a circular dependency here? Why did I have to explain that before I said what you were doing? Oh yeah, because the hack was that last week, we had spent all this time setting this WebSocket thing up and getting this working. This is weird, by the way. Like this, there's a lot of XML in this toolkit, so like this toolbox is just a ball of XML.
It is also cool because you can change, you can remove blocks or add blocks.
We can add new categories. Yeah. And that's actually the next step of the block factory when we export. So a block is three things. It's the JavaScript definition, the JavaScript stub, and then the XML to import it into the toolbox. And we just add it into the XML tree. But what we were doing to test this was we were just creating a new variable called game state because, of course, like, this is just the game state, right? Like, it's, let's print this, print game state. So this is a variable called game state, and this code is all getting called, or that is getting declared there. I don't really want that to be declared there. Why is that getting declared there?
I think the moment you create a variable in Blockly,
we weren't doing that last time. And also, if you do a var in strict mode, we'll get an error.
I'm wondering if we can create the variables elsewhere, perhaps, and then use them in Blockly.
Well, I mean, that's what we're doing. So that's what I mean. This worked last time, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on. But yeah, so we've got this. We're getting the move receive. We're getting it as game state, and then we're just using it. Yeah.
To not go off on too much of a tangent, Estegon asked another question. Can you show the game board itself in a block? So no, but Blockly does have a game view, like supported, just like in Scratch, where you have like a canvas and then your code, and you can print whatever you want to the canvas. So we could present the game state on the canvas side.
For sure, yeah. And there is a demo which kind of shows something like custom fields. So you can do these custom fields.
I stand corrected.
Well, so I mean, you could display a game board in it, but I think these are images, so I don't think it would work very well. But what we can do with these, you see, they're using this for a character customizer. So I really want us to get the Battlesnake customizer working here. I want to use these for the info block, right, to create the info JSON. But I haven't looked at how these are made yet. But I think that would be pretty cool. Nice. So yeah, we have lots of possibilities, lots of things we can do. I think this project is going to have stuff for us to do for a while. So let me just quickly confirm this was definitely working. I'm 99% sure this is working. So how this hack was working was we were just grabbing game state, and then we were throwing in our generated code and running it, and it was using the same variable because we're defining it in there. But I'm slightly worried about the fact that it is now calling var game state. I'm reasonably sure we had it not doing that before. Maybe if I just do...
I'm pretty confident it was.
Okay, let's give it a go. If I have to go back and watch the VOD to confirm that this was working, I'll be very sad about it. Anyway, so let me spin up an ngrok.
And so the idea is that our Blockly app will compute whether it should go up, down, left, or right, and then just send the response back to the server side, right?
Correct.
Nice.
Hello, ngrok. Okay, let me... Sorry, this is the first Battlesnake run of the day, so obviously I need to get set up and get everything working.
The first Battlesnake run of the day.
Yeah.
Part of any developer's day.
Why am I logged out? Okay, we're in. Teams, coding badly. Blockly snake, edit. Add the URL. Save. Bring it over. Okay, there's a snake. Snakey snake. Play.
Oh, hello, Josh. Good to see you.
Oh, hi, Josh. Coding badly. Blockly snake. Start game. So that is the game state that I think I'm... Did I save that after I removed that? Let's give it a restart just in case. I don't trust it. Yeah, it's printing the game.
Awesome.
And I am not 100% convinced that I am... Wait, hang on, this is a window alert. It's giving me did print on. Yeah. Undefined. There we go. Okay, so that doesn't work. Anyway, the important thing is we can now use custom blocks together. I'm sure it was working last week.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I think all we managed to do was get data successfully passed from the back end to the front end, and we paused.
Okay. Anyway, we can do this. So that's then an interesting question. Just a super casual day ending with Battlesnake games? Yeah, exactly. Right. So last week we had several problems, which was every time we restarted the server, we lost everything we had put in here. That's not going to be viable. So we wanted to do saving and loading. And we need to build these custom blocks so that we can actually interact with our Battlesnake. That's an important one. I wonder, actually... So if we have this variable... How can we... So if this doesn't work, if this stupid hack doesn't work, how do we get the game state to... I guess we just pass it in as a... Oops.
Yeah, well, let's just take a step back. Let's look at the index.js first, just validate what's happening there.
Which one?
Which I think is correct. Yes. So we're getting a request to /move, and we're emitting a receive move with the body. Is rec.body correct?
That's why we're getting the print in the console logs. That's the body of the post request. So that's fine. So we're not currently
so we're emitting
fine,
receive move. Now back to the HTML, we're looking for socket on receive move, which is
that's fine. That's all doing that. So that's not the confusing bit. So go on.
No. But we're not using game state in here.
No, we're using game state in the Blockly code. That's the problem is that we declared game state as a variable here, and our smart idea was, in lieu of being able to access JSON, let's at least see if we can use game state. But the problem is it redeclares game state, so that doesn't work.
It's not even just that. Game state is locally scoped to that function call. Like, it's not a global variable
to this function call.
Yeah, it only.
Yeah, but this is where the code is. The code in here, like if this worked. So for example, if we had like print game state, this would just be window alert game state in here, so it would be in scope. Because this,
but we're not passing it into Blockly. Daz is asking, did it work when you used a val last time? Daz, we don't remember what we did last time. It turns out
it's been so long ago.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe.
Well, no, so the problem is, Daz, just to be exact, I don't think a val would solve this problem, because the problem is that when we put in game state, it's actually declaring it as a new variable.
So I think the search term is something like passing state to Blockly.
To Blockly.
Because maybe we do it there on line 20. Maybe we can do it on like line 25.
Oh, what? As in, like, you do it in the workspace?
Yeah, maybe we can actually pass state in. I think I'm being a bit optimistic.
Well, we're just turning this code into... What if, like... It's just annoying that there's no way to reference a variable without creating that variable.
Well, maybe there is. Maybe we can start the workspace with some predefined variables.
No, but I mean, no, as in, like, we can start the... Oh, as in...
The board
as in, like,
you
think...
Didn't see it in the schedule, but when is the stream where someone builds it with Cold Fusion? Well volunteered.
That would be...
Well volunteered.
Oh my god. So you're saying maybe we can make a block which is just straight up a variable, like just generates the JavaScript stuff for...
Maybe there is just purely a way to pass state in.
Let me actually... Let's go to the... Yeah, okay. Let me... You have a look at that. I've got another idea. Get on the Google. I've got an idea.
Yeah. My key.
Yeah. I want Workspace Factory, because in Workspace Factory, if I create a variable here and just put that in, Sure, whatever. No, I don't want that there. I just wanted the one variable. Yeah, okay, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay. Okay, so so we need to figure out a way to pass the game state to this.
So Daz is asking, can you edit the variable block generated code and remove the var? In theory, yes. All we're doing is getting the produced code and then just running it verbatim at the moment.
But at that point, it's like hacks on hacks on hacks.
Yeah, exactly. If there's a better way of doing this, we'll do it. But I mean, feasibly, we could do that. Yeah. We could remove like the first line or something like that.
It's just so annoying that there's no way to just reference that variable without it being declared.
Well, maybe there is.
Well, so like when we don't have a variable in here and we go to the variables menu.
I'm just wondering if we can like instantiate it ahead of time.
Yeah. Okay, but in the meantime, I'm going to get on this saving issue. So what we discovered last time, so yeah, as a just brief example, we're building our Battlesnake, got some lovely code, we've thrown it all together. That's not going to help. Doing lots of cool. Sorry, I've been thwarted. Do I need to? What fits in this shape? I want to repeat. Okay, there we go. Set test to that. There we go. Built some lovely code, and then because we're on a fast development cycle, I refresh the page and it all goes away. So what we want to do is save the workspace and reload it. The way that code generation works in Blockly is actually pretty cool and pretty interesting. So Abdul's here trolling you about your keyboard, Kevin.
I'm not ignoring it.
So how does this JavaScript get here? How does that work? So this is XML. The blocks as the RNR editor are all represented by XML, and that's the Blockly workspace, this XML tree. And so the code generators are actually really cool, where you just import the code generator you want. So we're importing JavaScript, and then we just call Blockly JavaScript workspace the code, and we give it the workspace. And this workspace is just the XML. So saving is kind of a similar process where we want to grab that XML and do it in a different way. And what we have, and I don't even know where I'd put this. I guess I'll put it in here somewhere. That would be, I guess, it's an irresponsible place to put it, I think. But we would want something like a save function that's just calling I think it's, is this completion working? No. I'm pretty sure it's XML, and then we saw it, it's workspace to see, that's getting workspace to that. It's workspace to DOM.
Because we've already written it.
Yeah, I know. Let me quickly go find this in the reference to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Yeah, it's workspace to DOM. Workspace to DOM, there we go. Yeah, it is exactly that. And then that takes the workspace, which in this case is our demo workspace. Why is it demo workspace? We define the workspace up here using our XML toolbox, and we inject it into the div. So at this point, we just want demo workspace. Well, I don't know if that will have the additions. Hopefully it does. So that turns it into the DOM. And then after this, and this is the bit where I said to you I had no idea how to do this, Kevin, which was this is the bit where we then need to save that somewhere.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll cover that in just a moment.
Yeah.
That's really light. So what does this output? Just XML?
That gives us this doesn't output XML. This outputs DOM.
Before we save,
but like I don't know what. Yeah. Gone.
Before we save it, we're going to need to trigger it. So can we console log code to save and then actually get this save button working?
Yeah, sure thing. We'll do it. We'll put that in our change listener.
Yeah, and then we can save it using local storage.
For now, let me do this. I'll put it in here, and we'll replace it in the code block for now, just so we can see it.
Sure.
So we can see what it's doing.
Cool. And then just console log it.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to put it in the area under that. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Well, that's not. Do I have to restart it for that?
Don't know.
I don't think I should have to restart that. Would help if I was pressing the correct save key, maybe. There we go. Okay. Now we're getting objects, which isn't useful.
All right. So in order to let's console log it as well, then, or let's console log it instead. So I'm just.
Don't we have to do a thing to convert an object in the console.log, don't we?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Do I need to restart the app again? Yep.
I think you do. Do you want to kick it off with node mon instead? So it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Actually, no. So kill that. There's one more thing you're going to want to do here. So node mon -e space or equals quote. Sorry, JS comma.
Wait, hang on. Where am I putting that?
-e right here.
Yep.
And then in quotes JS comma HTML, because by default you see there
that will do change for everything.
It'll only change for JS, and now it will also watch for the HTML changes and kick it off again. Hello, Matt. Thank you for joining us during what is a very busy month.
It's just giving us XML, so it is
cool.
That is XML.
Cool.
Nice.
So we can just save that.
But it's in DOM form, so we've got
So I was going to say, so we want to turn that into a string. We want to stringify it. I don't actually know how to do that with XML. With JSON, it's baked in, but this will be. I'll just quickly Google it.
I actually, looking at what I'm looking at, I actually think there's a Blockly function for this.
Yeah.
I believe we have on the reference we have this.
I'll take your word for it.
So we can use that. So then this is where.
So save that to a variable text, cool. And then instead of console logging DOM, let's run save, pass in DOM, and then just make sure there's a parameter on line 41.
So logging DOM, you wanted to do what? Sorry, you wanted to call save.
Save DOM, and then make sure on line 41
cool.
that we perfect. And let's just see how that looks. Lovely.
Great. Oh, I'm no bonding now. Perfect. Boop. Yep, there's the text version.
Brilliant. So all we want to do here is save it to local storage, and then when we load the app, I assume there's an equivalent like load from XML.
There's the other way around. There's DOM to workspace.
So we'll want to do that when we load it, but let's save it first of all.
Yeah.
So I believe all we need to write is local storage with a capital S.
There we go. That is correct.
Dot add create. Hang on. Set. I'm gonna need to refresh.
Set item.
Set item. There we are.
And what does this take? A key and a value. Okay.
So
what do we
state? It almost doesn't matter what we call it.
Okay. And then this would just
text.
be text. Okay.
Perfect.
So that's then set.
Yeah, and we can just test that works by looking at our local storage once we.
Ooh, I've never done that. I'm learning things. Browser APIs? Who's used those? Where do we see that? I guess that's going to be inspect storage in here.
Exactly. In local storage, it was in there.
Oh, it's already in there.
Yeah, a local storage. It's the penultimate one in the list.
Oh, nice.
And then click on that, and then stay.
Hey, there it is. So that will just continually get overwritten, right?
Yeah.
Filler rubbish. Yeah, let's create with, let's put that, there you go, that first. Controls repeat. Beautiful. Okay, so that was easy. So now we need to load. And the loading, I'm guessing we're going to want... Wait, we probably don't want this to be saving continually because you won't be able to... It's currently doing that on all... when does this update trigger? Yeah, but it doesn't just change. Where's the change? This is a Blockly's special change listener, which I think triggers on like all mouse interaction. So I suspect this might now be empty. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, it would be very difficult when you start this page up to get to a load button without accidentally overwriting what you had saved.
Oh, okay. Well, then we just change.
We'd probably just want a button. Yeah.
We probably just exactly a save button is very sensible.
Yeah. Let's put it under this text area. Is button still the correct semantic element?
What the heck are we doing? Talking about semantic HTML, making this monstrosity. Like, yes, I feel the need to add for my actual job. I do care about this, but here on Coding Badly, and yeah, you want to write save.
Load.
Matt says, or could you not just always load from
on page load and have a clear button?
Have a clear button.
I mean, you don't even need a clear button. We've got the bin. That works.
Fine.
That works.
Path of least resistance. Cool.
So I'm guessing on the page load bit, we're going to want that's on page load.
Sure. Let's just call it load.
Yeah. And then we don't want anything there. But we get that from the set state, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this doing backwards, I guess it's local storage.
Get. Item.
Yeah.
Get item state and store that in a variable.
Cool.
Remember that is a string, so we want to do the inverse. So I imagine text to DOM. And then DOM to workspace.
XML text to DOM. What was that?
I'm just guessing here.
Yeah. Oh, let me have a quick look. Text to DOM. Yeah. Perfect. What does this take? And then takes a text. So it's going to be loaded state, and that needs to be then you know what we want to do? We want to do loaded state, get item state, and then we want to do if loaded state, because initially there won't be anything the first time. Yeah. Is that sufficient to check for non-null in JavaScript?
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. And then we're going to be doing... Oh, yeah. How do we do this, actually? Because we need to build this new workspace. Because here we're going to do, like... This is going to be something like... DOM to workspace, I'm guessing.
Sorry, you didn't speak fully aloud, so
sorry.
I'm not quite sure what your thought process is.
So we create a workspace via injecting our toolbox into the canvas. We've created a workspace here. I don't know how that interacts with this injection, whether we now just inject this straight into the canvas instead. We've got... Like, it's going to change how all this works, right?
Maybe. I think we could just use demo workspace. It's a global variable. But remember, load, we've not called load yet, so we just have to make sure we call load once it's created.
Sure. So I just do
Matt, I'm not sure when you posted these comments. Might need to check for if it's null. I think get item returns null if the key doesn't exist, and that is, we're doing that. I'm not sure when you posted that. Does the workspace not have a way to overwrite with new DOM/XML?
That's a very good question, Matt. You would assume we know this API.
That is an assumption, and you know what they say when you make an assumption, And it has
Append
view
DOM to
and
work. There is an append DOM to workspace. Decode an XML DOM and create blocks on the workspace. Position the new blocks immediately below prior blocks. That sounds fine. That sounds good, right? And then this is going to be XML demo workspace. That sounds okay. Wait, I don't need to do...
Can you move your cursor so I can see the code under
Sorry.
it? Thanks. No, sorry.
Do I even need to assign that to demo workspace? I'll do a change in place, surely.
Wait, no. You can't replace all of demo workspace because that contains everything.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I want this.
Yeah.
I think this would just do a change in place. Space on line 48, please.
I assume they're asking you to remove... Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with y'all? Missing S on line 50. Blockly, appended DOM, workspace, demo. I don't know where you're talking about missing S.
Oh, never mind.
Cool. Thank you so much, Steve. So I assume append DOM to workspace is going to do it to that workspace. I don't need to assign it to a variable.
Well,
that might be a
rather
false
than
assumption.
rather than running load, let's just do it in the console, in the browser console.
Sounds good to
Try
me.
this out. So first let's do something with the board that assigns it to local storage.
Yeah.
Then refresh, and local storage should persist.
Perfect.
Nice. And then refresh, and nothing should be there, but go there. Yeah. Go to console. No.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Still
And
there.
then we're just gonna call load, right?
Yeah.
We've done it.
So now we want to run that automatically when we create the workspace. Lovely. Very cool.
And when we do that, that's going to be an on-page load event thing, right? Which I haven't done that since 2007.
I think it's specifically after where our creation of the demo workspace. No.
When we do the injection,
Yeah, I think it's
as in
after
just
that.
straight up call load here.
Yeah, why not?
Seems fine.
I mean, let's just test it.
Oh, I deleted stuff.
Yeah. Just give it a refresh. Nice, perfect. And then delete it and refresh just to make sure. Delete that block and refresh. Lovely.
Well, that was easy. Cool.
Nice. That's going
Wonderful.
to make debugging this a little less annoying.
It's going to be so nice. And suddenly, I have noticed when we started that block of code, we had 6 viewers. And now we actually have viewers. Hello, everyone. Just a brief catch up for folks who are here. Coding Badly is a show where we do daft things for Battlesnake. Battlesnake is a programming game. We rate AI for snakes. We are using Blockly, Google's kind of open source toolkit for block-based languages, to try and create a little app where you can play Battlesnake using Blockly. So kids could get into Battlesnake. Lazy programmers like us could write non-code based Battlesnakes. And to do that, we're having to write a fair amount of infrastructure because Blockly is a developer tool, is not a ready to go application. And the biggest thing that's going to bite us is this is like the standard toolkit. No way of interacting with objects.
That is a challenge for us.
Thank you for holding your breath for us, Daz. So now, back to that challenge. Did you find anything promising about how we can pass some state to Blockly?
I did not.
So we are just going to be relying on...
Well, no, anyway you dice it, there has to be some way to do it. We have to be
It does there, though.
No,
Okay.
but I mean, let's think about it. So what we get is the full Battlesnake payload. And what we need is
access
a way,
to that payload.
Is access to it, and we need it inside of this editor. I suppose we could do it using a custom block.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm thinking we just have a custom block that literally just straight up loads.
But how much functionality do we get in the custom block? Like, can we refer to non-Blockly global variables? Because that'd be pretty
Should
cool.
be able to. Yeah, should be able to.
All right, well, let's explore
Daz is saying var gets hoisted, so they think eval will work. I'm willing to believe Daz. Let's just try it, because if Daz is right, and I do have to say, there is some credence to this, which is, we, what am I saying? In the documentation for running the Blockly code, it does recommend eval, and that did make me pause, because the conversation we had last time is never use eval, and in general that's what you're always told, and they do recommend you use eval, and maybe this is why. So let's give it a go. So I'm just gonna stick eval code here, right?
Could you knock your music up a step? It's so low, it's almost borderline not playing. Better. Oh, chat, I'm getting sick.
I'm so sorry, Kevin. Daz!
Very good.
Daz! You did it! It windows dots alerts. Well, we have an object now. They said undefined previously. So it is doing something.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about how we get more useful data into our...
Well, there is... I just can't remember JavaScript.
Wait, more words.
What? We just want to string the object. JSON.stringify.
JSON.stringify, yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to work because we're printing game state.
Exactly.
And it's also in here. It's window.alert in here. We can't JSON.stringify that. Anyway.
Wait. We can JSON stringify it before this, though. So wherever we're getting game state into it initially.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
I don't think this is the right call, but just to...
No, this will let us test it. So we just do game... Is that a modification in play? Stringify...
I can't remember if that's legal. Oh, no, you do need to assign it to a variable.
Yeah.
But can you do that? Game state equal... I mean, we'll find out imminently.
We will find out.
Yeah, cool.
Daz, you're the best! We're using eval! People are going to be mad. God, I love this bop. This is going so well. Help, I can't escape the alert because the game is somehow still running. How many of these did we get?
And the things
wait, hang on, what?
What just happened? What just happened?
How did that snake last?
Oh wait,
so
hang on a minute. Unrelated. Is there now a little latency graph underneath?
Oh, that's always been there. Yeah, it's always been there.
Was it? Oh, I'd never seen that before.
Oh, it's been there for a very long time. Yeah.
Cool.
No, so what's happening here is we're still calling. This snake was based off of the Battlesnake starter snake, and so it's still calling move.
Got you.
Well, that's exciting. Okay. So we can just get into game state now. So the world is our oyster. That's very exciting.
So what we want to do is we want to get we probably want to make a Battlesnake block that takes in this string and then spits out in some form or like assigns other variable values or something like that. Yeah. And then we can just freeform use those variables.
For sure. So
just as another thought, when you first load the workspace for the very first time, we might want to create a few variable blocks for we might just want to create them on behalf of the user. I mean, all we need to do is create it, look at the XML string, and just store that in local storage.
There is just straight up. There is
I'm getting ahead of ourselves. I'm just saying it. So we don't.
Well, no. What I was going to say is there is straight up DOM to block. So we actually can just create those, get the XML for some variables, DOM to block it. But yeah, let's leave it for now because I don't think we need it at the moment. But so welcome to the block factory, everyone, where we write Blockly blocks in blocks. So you said we want a block which just takes that whole object,
And
so it will have to take it as text. Can we do this? We can turn strings back into JSON, right?
yeah, of course.
Can't believe I'm googling JavaScript string to JSON. JSON.parse, of course.
I know, Matt. Writing blocks with blocks. This
The,
is
you should. The tutorial video is actually hilarious. When you're looking at the tutorial video for this tool, God, where is it? Okay, top of this page. Top of the Blockly developer tools. This video. There's a moment where they literally just straight up say like, "Hey, in the block factory, you can write Blockly blocks in blocks." It's just ridiculous. Okay. Oh, I've moved the wrong thing. So, we're going to have to take the whole shebang as text. So we'll take the whole game state object as text. And then, so let's just call this get game
The only
state.
thing I'm a little unsure of is how do we... Oh, right. Hang on. I'm going to sneeze.
Please
You
do.
can manipulate it in the generator stub.
Yeah, so what we're going to have to do now, to explain what we have to do, so block definition, generator stub, we are going to download this, get it set up in our project, where we can then use the generator stub and start to write that out. I don't think we want this to do anything else. Do you want to make it a fancy color? Let's make it orange.
Yeah.
Get out of there, Hugh.
Is there a pink?
Is there a pink?
Like Battlesnake pink.
Yes. What happens if we change?
Why are they also muted?
Help. It's if I put it in here instead. Okay, there we go. That's as good as we can do. That's kind of coding badly, pink.
Yeah.
And then we don't need types. Value input. What have we got here? A value input. Statement input. What's other? What does that do?
What is other?
Can I just type anything in here? Could I just type game state in here? What does that do? That doesn't click, is what that does.
It's the wrong shape. It's the wrong shape.
It is the wrong shape. Sorry, I was meant to be in field, not type. Variable item name. So these are the types of inputs
for
we
what
can have.
the hell these mean.
Are there any docs? I'm sure there are docs. Define blocks. Why is my phone going crazy? Abdul, can you tell the signal group to shut up? We're in a stream.
Yeah, just tell them to stop. As opposed
Input
to
fields in
just
JSON.
hitting do not disturb.
There you go, I've done that. Input and fields. Fields, okay. Field input. That doesn't align with what I've got. Field variable. Okay, there is a field variable. What does that look like? The problem is that this documentation, let me bring this over so you can see what I'm saying. This documentation doesn't align. I mean, it's documentation for the library, not for the block factory. So fields, and we've got, oh, where did it go? That wasn't what I was looking at before. Field variable, it's right there. Where did I just see this? Block inputs, here we go. Value input connects to an output connection of a value block. Connects to a statement block, okay. Dummy input does not have a block connection, acts like a new line when the block is configured to use external value inputs. What are external value? That sounds like what we want.
That does sound like what we want. I do think like the docs for this tool are not amazing.
I mean, as I uncharitably said on the first stream of this, it is important to remember that we are in the Google ecosystem now, and so all is lost. Abandon all faith. Okay, I don't know. External value input with repeat label. Okay, that doesn't help. I just want to know what these inputs mean. So we've got fields. More information on built-in fields. Aha! Variables.
Yes.
But that's going to have to be a variable defined in Blockly. Variable, item. Okay, so... And then this is the variable? What are these things? Why is there two? I don't understand. Is this setting the... Why do we have item and name on our variable?
Well, look at the generator stub. Like, move it in and out and see what happens to the generator stub, maybe. Okay, so it's that line. Variable
name. Block get field value name. Blockly variables name type. So, oh, this is the variable name? What is item then?
Well, change what's in item and see what changes.
Oh, it's the preview.
Oh,
it's
okay.
So it's the variable name there. So this is where I select my variable.
Right. So one of them's a label, one of them's the actual variable name. Okay.
Yeah, that's helpful. Okay, well that looks good. So get name, get field value, game state, Blockly variables name type. Does that get?
No, but the thing is, we can edit this generator stub.
Yeah, I think we just do text, honestly. I think text is easiest.
Yeah.
And then we just give this is just the text, right?
Yeah, but we need to give it a... Yeah.
Do we actually need to give it the text here? Because that's not going to work. This hasn't...
Yeah, nothing's... Oh, it's there. It's a append field. It's in the block definition. And those indented too.
Yeah, so... But this is changing the name on the block. So, like, if we go back to our... This must be infuriating to watch. I'm so sorry, people. If we go to, like... what do I want? I need something that uses this. So if I go to, like, print, what we're setting up here is... Oh my god, where did I put it? What we're setting up here is the... This isn't the text input. This is the text on the block. So I think after this, it will just take any text plugged into it.
Yeah, I think it might be the. I think it might be. You see, name in all caps in the blue. I think that is actually the value.
Right. But then we'd need to be added. This won't work because we'll need all of that game state in a Blockly string to plug into it. So we do need to use that. We do need to figure out that external value thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, hang on. Did we solve this? We solved this already. This is what this does. We plug this into it. This is creating...
Yeah, and then we need to feed game state into our new block. Our new block
yes. Okay, so this is good. This is actually what we want. So let me export this.
Yeah.
Block exporter. Oh, sorry. Let me save. Save. Block exporter. This one. And then I need to grab this in JavaScript. And this is get game state. And I download both these files. What a fun genre of development this is. And then I very cleverly previously set up this blocks directory.
Very cleverly.
I'm genius, really. What was the other file called?
It was just
get games. God. And of course, I have my downloads folder sorted by file type, not name. So
we want to name that .js.
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that at all. We want to throw that in the bin.
And put it all in one file?
Yeah.
Cool.
Great. And then we have to do a couple of silly things. So first of all, here we will change that to get GameState.js. And then we need to go get the XML for that, where we go to the workspace factory, we go to block library, we drag, why can't I do anything? Clear, drag that there. We ask it to please export toolbox.xml. We save the XML.
Wow.
Yep. It is a process. Thank you for joining us for this process, everyone. And then I scroll down to toolbox.xml. And I just open that. I don't know why I bothered to do that, because I could have just worked that out myself. And then we go to our lovely, huge XML file, and we'll just throw it in the library, which I'm going to rename to Battlesnake.
Nice.
Okay. Let's give this a refresh. Battlesnake! Game state.
But then what?
Well, we need to write this. So value to code, value name. Okay, so I guess let's just try like console.logging value name, I guess.
Maybe alert it.
Yeah, that's
just because we've got a lot going on. Or actually, no. If you go to what?
No, that won't work. Sorry, if I go to what?
Can we remove the console log, the XML console log, that one?
Yeah.
Oh no! Hang on. No. Those logs were happening from that console log. Look,
as in
it says GameState.js on the right-hand side.
Yeah, no, that's this line in between. It just says game state. We're just getting the name of the variable rather than the variable. So that's fine. Value name. Value to code block. Well, that's not enormously helpful. So we're able to get the variable name. Oh, of course. I'm an idiot. This is generating JavaScript. This is JavaScript it puts in. So that makes total sense that it's getting us the name, because that's then going to be injected. So we actually just want here to do. Oh God, how do we? Suddenly I just realised I don't know. Well, suddenly I just realised I don't know how code generation works. So we want to return. We just want to return value name. That's what we want to do. We want to return value name at the moment.
And then later we will break this,
because that will just return the variable name.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this block doesn't have further outputs. We can't plug this into a print and then use this.
So is that something we need to do in the block factory?
Well, it is now just putting game state in. So we are just now getting game state. So we can just get game state as a. We can just get the variable name game state in there now. Is what we've achieved there.
Why this is a win.
So
we've not done that before.
We haven't, not like this. I don't really know how to explain why that's a win.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
Well, because we can do stuff like this. We can do like return the value name. We can do. I don't know if that actually works. That's why it's a win.
Okay.
So we're now writing the function which writes the JavaScript which creates the JavaScript we need for Battlesnake stuff. So if we wanted to get the head,
I
cool.
understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think about how we do this, because currently it's just a string and we want it to refer to a variable by the name of that string.
That's not a string. That's code. This is the JavaScript output. This is being injected.
I am with you.
Right.
I am not 100% confident this is doing what we expect it to do, but I now understand what we believe it does.
Well, I mean, that's not doing anything because it won't be .head. It'll be .board, .whatever, .head. No, this is straight up Hexagon. You're writing code that writes blocks that writes code. Yes, correct.
We went and used the block factory to make a block with a block to write code for our code.
Yeah. So this, to recap for those of you who didn't come on that journey with us, this is where we write the code that generates JavaScript. So this is where the output of this function is JavaScript, which gets output here, but also injected straight into this function. So it gets injected here and ran straight away. So GameState.head isn't a string, it's JavaScript code. Well, I mean, it's a string of JavaScript, but it's getting run as code in this eval. So if we were to say GameState, if we were to change this to, and here's how we demo this, Kevin. If I change this to console.log
that is correct.
I can't remember. So GameState dot help. I've forgotten the Battlesnake part of the stream.
Just .body.
Is it just .body?
Or is it .me?
Hang on, let me go into the logic. GameState.u. We'll do .u.head. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're so deep in the Blockly, you forget that you're actually here to play Battlesnake. Value name .u.head and then close.
Yeah.
Console.log GameState.u.head, and then let's get rid of that print, and let's open up console, and let's queue up a rematch.
If this works,
It works! It works! I'm so happy about that.
Huh.
This is ridiculous, but we can now do it. We now have GameState, and we need to go back to. We need to turn this block into a block that has output, because otherwise we're gonna just end up writing a Battlesnake kind of third person in this generator. But sorry, you were gonna say something.
No, not even. Hexagon says you are now considered a meta programmer.
Now we're thinking in compilers. Okay.
We're nearing the point where we're going to need Penelope again. Actually,
Penelope did watch the last one of the stream and enjoyed it. So that's a block factory.
I'm sorry, we could do with you now.
Oh. What does that do? Why is this on the... I didn't see this. How do I get these external inputs? Anyway. Connections. Boom, here we go. Bottom connection. Yeah, look, now we've got a little connection. But how do I get one that... Left output. We want that. There we go. I'm so unreasonable. Yes, because, again, to look at this contains the game state variable, and we plug it in. So we want this to output the code.
Yeah, so we want it going down into the next step. It's sequential, so we want.
Well, how would we use this? So if this generates code that, for example, so say this generated code that got us the head, and we wanted to, and that's a list. So then we want to get the length of that list. No, it would be the left output.
Okay.
Can I just copy this code from here? Yeah, I can. That's better than the exporting, isn't it? So the changes this makes to the correct strength. What? So the changes this makes is we now return an array of our code and this. So that's fine. I can just do that. So return array and this. So let me do this.
So what does that do, or is that does that define the shape of
this? Is me converting it to have the output. Yeah. So let me do this. Code equals, and we'll throw that in there. Why did I do that? Code. Yeah, so sorry, I didn't want to do the exporting thing again, so I'm just applying those changes. And then I'm just going to grab this whole else because we didn't change the block definition. Okay, let's give that a refresh. Oh. Oh no.
What have you done?
Oh no.
Open up the terminal. That might open up the browser console. It might. Oh, hang on. There was a red squiggly in the code editor.
Oh, wait here.
In the actual code. Blockly. There's a. What's happened here?
Am I missing a semicolon here? Yes, I am. There we go. Cool. So that doesn't work. Let me get rid of that console.log. We don't need that now. We just want just that. So now I can plug this into print window alert gamestate.u.head. And now we're back where we were an hour ago, but we've done it with a custom block. But we're now getting just the head rather than something in particular. Okay. Progress. But this should also be a list. So now we can start to... Now we could do length and we could print that instead. Or not.
No, because it's an object. Still.
Oh, right.
Oh,
yes.
no, because
head. No,
yeah,
it is a head. Yeah, it's a X and a Y.
I will be right back. I need some tissue.
No worries.
Nose.
Enjoy. So we can't do length. So if I then change this to... If I did this as that code value... There must be a better way than like literally constructing strings on this. I mean, I guess I could be all ES6 about it. And I could do it like this instead. That would be a little bit better.
Oh, you need squiggly open.
Yes, I do.
Cool. Hexagon seems like Blockly would have some built-in helpers for most of that. I'm not convinced they do. Remember, they don't let you. Oh, actually, I missed the statement. That's probably in response to...
For most of what? Most of the code generation?
So they don't have easy ways to interact with objects specifically.
Oh no, they have absolutely nothing. No, they there is no object support whatsoever. Oh, with CodeGen, yeah, he means with CodeGen. Two, woo. You know, they probably do Hexagon. They probably do, but we did not do the required reading, and so
Maybe
we don't know the API. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we already did. We've achieved a number of things, which is honestly we're a lot further ahead for the time than I thought we were going to be. This works, so that's good. So,
but here's where the issue starts to be called. There are some of the payload that comes back is known in size and shape. Some of them, the size is variable, like the other snakes on the board.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do with those? I suppose they can be interacted with as lists.
Yes, we'd have to do a lot of conversion. So for example, like we can change this to, get to be board.snakes.
Yeah.
But that's inside that is objects.
Yeah.
So we are going to have to think a little bit about the API here. We're going to end up building object blocks. We're just going to end up building object accessor blocks. Is like what we're going to do.
Or specific object blocks, like one's for snakes, one's for hazards, and so on. And maybe we build like interfaces. Because a snake is a snake, but snakes come up in multiple contexts. So
they do, but I actually think an object block is easy. So imagine this name we're getting here is a property name. We would need two things. We need an object. We need a variable name and a property name. So how do I get two inputs?
I actually, Matt has just said what has just flashed through my mind. Why not?
That's literally what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's good.
Everyone's in agreement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, but I think we need to be more specific than that, Matt, because the problem is, a lot of the properties in game state will then themselves be objects. So we need a block which takes a variable name and then a property name and looks at that property in that variable, and then we can then nest those so we can keep digging down into it. I think.
So, Hexagon mentions
JSON path.
Yeah, it could use JSON path, and I've never.
I don't know what that is.
Before. But it seems like a really pleasant way of interacting with objects and querying them. And I think it will run in the browser, which means it can run in our Blockly app.
Sorry, I'm seeing it's on Maven and having a panic attack. Am I on the wrong one?
Yes. I'm looking at GitHub/D Chester JSON path.
I am on the wrong one. Yeah,
I'll pop it in our StreamYard chat.
Perfect.
This looks pretty sound.
Yeah, this looks great.
Because then, I mean, there is still some code needed, and maybe over time we would want to abstract that. But for now, all you need is the JSON path expression. The
is npm back up?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm gonna start with. I am gonna do what Matt suggests and start with just doing this generic thing first, because I don't want to do the whole reading library reference documentation on stream thing. But I think JSON path does look super cool, and this will be a much better way to do it. This will be we will do some reading and come back to you, Hexagon.
Yeah.
Or do it next stream, which is actually next week. Next week is when we're back. You didn't see us for a month, and now we're back 2 weeks in a row.
Like buses. And come
exactly.
in, come at once.
So let's go back to our block factory and have a look at two inputs. Cool. So we literally just double this up. Append value input, and then give it these. You're gonna need different names, I'm assuming. So we'll call that object, and this one property.
I think nested properties get a bit interesting.
We just keep calling this block over and over again, right? But then, yeah, how do we refer to the next object in the chain?
Yeah,
we would need two versions of this block. One that has a name.
No, I think that I let me just do some googling, because I think there is some syntax that is appropriate for what we are trying to do.
Okay. I trust you.
No.
I won't. No, hang on. This works. No, this works perfectly. Look at this block. Look at this block. So it's got a block input. So if we have multiple of these, say we've got one here that's taking game state and looking at you, this then plugs into the top of another one of these that looks at head. This works. This actually works.
Oh yeah, it does. Oh, it's going to be ugly.
Oh, it's going to be true visual programming, Kevin. This is where you realize why no one actually writes in visual code.
Done this, yeah.
Yeah, it's because why does not have a name? Append field, object, and then property, and then how's the JavaScript changed? Hasn't really. We'll just throw that in. Everyone heard about the Twitch leaks.
Apart from people who only read their emails.
And then you got a lovely mysterious email. Yeah. God, what a joke. Okay, so I don't think I need anything from this, right? Okay, so we are just doing. We are literally just doing. Object. Dot.
I for one haven't seen the repos, but I'm gonna say don't post them here in the chat.
Yeah, please do not post them here in the chat. God, this must be what everything in Twitch is like today. Just like everyone being like, hey, let me post this repo in here. Don't bring Papa Bezos down on our stream, please. Well, that's something. Variables, game state, and then if we... Can I put a string in here? This is a problem. I can't put... Like, how do I refer to the property? Yeah, that doesn't work. We don't have undress strings. Can I just do this as... Why do I just put that in there? How do I get undress? How do I just have text?
Oh, I'm bloody muted. I kept saying, oh yeah, I know how to do this. Show me the code.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly what Matt has just said, without the dot.
Got you.
I kept
Using
being
an
like, I know how
accessor.
to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought,
Yep.
do you not hear me? Yeah. Yeah, perfect. No, Matt, that's perfect. That is correct.
Excon was saying, isn't it just a variable? The problem is, Excon, you can't use a variable without defining it. So I'd have to do create variable. But then it would get hoisted, I guess. But I don't know if that would work. Anyway. So now we can just plug...
Yeah. Yeah, and that's valid. That's legal.
So now let's try... This is ridiculous. I love it.
I hate it.
It's delicious.
I hate it.
And then let's have it again.
I hate it. It's almost like I'm reading it in reverse. I'm going from out.
You know, it's Haskell. That's why I'm having such a good time.
There was something funky.
This is this is. All right, straight to elite we go. We can write Battlesnakes now. Oh my god. And then Matt says we can use the same input to use the same block for array access. Now Matt's thinking with portals. What now? So we're getting to the point where we have to actually try writing a snake. Okay, so let's do this. What we don't currently have a way to do is, I guess, do we want to create a console.log block?
For what purpose?
Well, I mean, right now we can't put logs in the code generated by this.
Oh, we
can only alert it. Yeah.
Actually, I think we should absolutely do that because this means of debugging is not workable, especially when you're getting loads of API calls.
So this is an object. So let's have. I'm gonna leave this an object actually, because what I want to do is what we're gonna do Not get game state. Oh, I should probably rename this. This isn't get game state anymore. Access object property. Yeah, because again, we're going to be working mainly with objects. We'll make a console.log block that also does JSON.string a file on it.
And then let's call it there for today, and we can do the reading on
yeah, sounds good.
JSON path, because I think we can make this nicer. And then I think we're almost at the point of being able to get a snake going. And then we can clean it up and make it nicer.
Yeah. Console.log. Did I say console? Yeah. Because I might just be being dumb, Matt. Matt, you've seen me do JavaScript before. You watch the race.dev streams. You know if there's a question like that, the answer is probably because Joe doesn't know better. Just skip straight to that step. Hexagon, that's a terrifying statement. Okay, so we just want to do and then in the XML, I need to have... This is actually pretty pleasant once you realize how it works.
Yeah.
I'm never going to write code again. I'm just going to write my own Blockly toolboxes. I one day in the future, I'll for some reason be applying to a job that has a technical interview. God knows why we do that. But I'll just rock up into the interview and be like, excuse me while I load up my Blockly environment. Yeah. We'll start the interview just by defining some blocks for the custom domain. Oh no, something went wrong. It's because I haven't included this file, I would imagine. Oh, and I have, yeah, that needs to be renamed. No. Oh no, oh, we're still referencing get block type somewhere. I can't remember what the...
Command Shift F. Command Shift F.
Perfect. That file's not even being used. What do you want? Yeah. Block.js. Oh, that's sorry, where it's getting called.
Oh, it'll be in your local storage state, Matt says. Yeah, so you delete it in a very, very good catch. I missed that.
Well done. Just delete this, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cool. Good
now
catch,
I have to
mate.
construct that hell object again. Okay. Object. 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 Variables. Create variable. Game state. Plug. Text. U. Text. Head. Text. X. This. That has an output. It shouldn't have an output. Console.log. Get rid of output.
Cool. You might want to just rename it console log.
You mean here?
Yeah. Small thing, but I think it will get us.
Yeah.
Or maybe just log.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one it is either. But no, that's cool.
Okay. So, rematch. Okay. All right. Well, let's recap. We started this stream with a little Blockly editor that was outputting JavaScript, and it's communicating with our server via WebSockets. What we have done is added saving and loading via local storage, so now we can refresh this page safely, and our stuff is still here. And we have gotten into custom blocks using the block factory. We understand how those work now, and after a little bit of banging our head against approximately, after a little bit of realizing that what we were outputting here was a string of JavaScript, we are now able to write blocks which generate code, which means we have created a pair of blocks. One is a little console.logger, and one is this object property. I've got to say, Kevin, okay, earlier Kevin answered with certainty that there is no object manipulation default Blockly blocks. The reason we knew that is because we had looked into it, and it's the most requested feature. There are so many forum threads of people saying, please can I have because there's Blockly compiles to a lot of languages, but the two main ones are Python and JavaScript, which have objects, and there is still no default object library. But like, obviously, you know, this is not a complete and useful block like object API, but it wasn't difficult.
No, but it is ugly. I wonder if what people are expecting is passing in a variable, like a 2-block, 2 inputs.
Yeah, maybe.
Pass it in, and the other one is maybe like a drop down or something like that.
Yeah, but then again, they don't really, to say they don't care about the native library sounds a bit harsh. But the reason I say that is because there is no, if you weren't watching the first stream, there is no reference or no collection, no place where you can find out what blocks are included. To get this list of blocks, when you first load up Blockly, this sidebar is empty. To get the list of blocks, which I have here in our toolbox, I had to go through all of the demos and just nick blocks from the demo source code to get this. There is no complete list of all the blocks that are included. Yeah, so maybe they just don't care like that, and they could add it, but no one would use it because they don't reference it. Anyway, to come back to it, we created these object blocks. We have a console.log block. We have a way of accessing objects. So in theory, we are getting towards a point where we can write a Battlesnake. The next thing we're going to need to do next week, we're going to have to add one block. We're definitely going to have to add is a way to get the final. We're going to have to add a return. We're going to need return.
Yeah.
We're going to have to have return because we have to get the move. So in this move handler, we are going to have to call that function here and get a move to send back and to response. That has to be a string left, right, up, or down. So this code in here, this needs to return a move. So we're going to have to create a return block as well. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. This has been a lot of fun. I actually genuinely feel triumphant. I've dropped that too soon because once again I nearly forgot important functions of our time here. There is a Battlesnake League going on. Did you know, Kevin?
Yes, I did. Hexagon. This is called what have we called our snake?
Blockly Snake. Nothing
we
imagined.
Just called it Blockly Snake.
Yeah. Are you thinking of Bashful Snake? Bashful Snake.
Yeah, I was. That was very good.
Yeah. We don't have a name yet. If anyone would like to name it, Snakely is pretty good. The Fall League is happening. I know Hexagon knows. Hexagon is in it. I know that Nesselgrev, who is here, knows. Nesselgrev is in it. There are still 47 days to go till it ends. We crossed 200 developers, which is awesome. Coming up on 200,000 games played. It is already a lot of fun. This league table with Prus at the top does not look super surprising so far. But there's still a long time to go. We might see some upsets. Demi Femme Penelope, guest here on the show, is kicking butt with their new version of their snake. Saturday, every other Saturday we're doing Snake Pit Lives. That's because the Caster House is back. And as you can see, triumphant, House of Joe, 360 points in the lead. you can enter your snake and come join us on Snake Pit Lives every other Saturday and put your snake into a gauntlet of game modes to fight for the glory of your house. House of Joe, obviously being the best house, is ahead in the points because we thrashed last Saturday. So come join us on Snake Pit Live. Not this Saturday coming, the Saturday after. This Saturday coming is a very special show with Andrew on the Community Corner. I think it's Andrew. The Community Corner, called something to do with champions. And I don't actually know. It's the stream of champions, and I know that's out there. I don't know if the run of show's been announced, but it'll be a good stream. There's more info on that on Twitter. I'm going to send you there so I don't spoil anything I'm not meant to spoil. It'll be good. Come join us on Saturday. So, thank you, Kevin. Have a wonderful night. I hope you feel better. Thank you, viewers. You've been awesome. You were muted again, weren't you?
No, yeah, just thank you. I didn't feel the need to unmute for that one. Thank you.
Perfect. Awesome. Alrighty. We'll see you on Saturday. Bye.